Hi, this is Jeannie at Trendy Tree, and today I'm going to show you how to make this autumn centerpiece. This is great for Thanksgiving, and it would look a lot better on my dining room table versus on this craft table. But anyway, we made it on a straight ribbon rail and just used some sprays, made some loop bows, and our primary centerpiece is this metal pumpkin. And it comes in 3 different styles, and you know, any one of the styles would have been fine. And then these cute little raz elves. So these are just cute as they can be, and you can bend them and shape them, you know, and just put them up there any way that you want to. Okay? We'll post a supply list at the beginning and the end of the video, and let's get started. We're going to start out with a straight ribbon rail. This one is an evergreen, and as you can tell, it looks kind of beat up, and it is. It's because we've used it several times. If you've watched any of our other videos, you know, I'll tell you that, you know, we only do creations just for tutorials, and lots of times we'll take them apart and reuse again. So this pencil rail has been used several times. The first thing I'm going to do with the pencil rail is I'm going to curve it just a little bit on the ends, so it will stand up just a little in the middle, because we're going to use this pumpkin for the primary centerpiece. And even though once we put it on there, it's going to weight it down a little bit, it'll still have a little bit of a curved shape. Next we're going to fill in with some base mesh. And again, like I say, you know, we reuse items. So I'm taking some of these natural. This is a jute poly with a jute thread in it, and I'll give you the number of this on the list of supplies. But we're going to take the ruffles from this wreath that we created a while back, and we're going to add them to this rail. I'm going to do 2 layers, and as you can tell, I've got some strings here. The more cuts that you have on your mesh and the more you handle it, the more strings you'll have. But I'm going to go ahead and just put 2 layers of ruffles in each twist right now. I'm just going to twist that, you know, just a time or 2, because I'm going to add more into it. And I'm just going to go over the whole rail with 2 layers of ruffles. When we're finished at the end, we'll come back and clip some strings. So now we have our centerpiece with some base natural ruffles. And I'm sorry, I realized I didn't show you how to make that. We're going to also use some orange jute. This is a orange poly with a natural jute thread in it. And this is 10-inch wide, and you cut your strips 10 inches in length. So once you have your 10-inch strip cut, you always want to, when you make your ruffle, you have your selvage or your uncut edges sides, and you want to scrunch up through the middle, starting with your cut edge, and just gather that up together, and you'll have sort of like a little bow tie, and that's your ruffle. And on this, we use 2 layers of ruffles. Now, if you want to do a curl, you cut your strips the same length, 10 inches in width, and just curl up that, start at your cut edge, make sure you have your selvage edge out to the sides, and just roll that up into about like a 1-inch roll or so. Just roll that up, and it just gives your mesh a little bit different shape. And you can see this has got some strings on it because we're using some orange that we used on another tutorial. So you take that curl, and we're going to do curls with our orange just to give it a little different color and a little different texture. And you just open up that twist and lay the orange right down on top, and then just give it just another twist or 2. We're not going to secure it real tight because we may add in something else. And I'm just going to go over the centerpiece. I may not, and we'll put some orange in. I don't know if we'll put some in every twist or not. That might be too much. So for right now, I'm just going to skip and put an orange in every other twist, and then if we need more color, you know, we can add that in. And this red is also a good color for the fall. It's they call it red, but it's really more of a deep berry red. It's red poly, and then it has a dyed red jute thread through it, so that would be good too for this project. Okay, now that just gives us a little different color, and you can use, you know, whatever color mesh you'd like, or other contrasting colors. Next, we're going to take out a couple of sprays, excuse me, and we're going to kind of balance. This is going to make a pretty large centerpiece, so we're going to try to balance our sprays. This is a raz spray that's a collection of some kind of greenery that's a little yellow green. It has some little dried yellow flowers in it, and some cotton boll sprays. I really like that because, you know, we're in Mississippi, so the cotton bolls are right down our alley. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of lay my spray in there to get an idea of how I want it to look, and see if I like that before I wire anything in. This is a real thick spray. Sometimes you can break your sprays apart and use them piece by piece, but this one is such a nice cluster, I'm going to use it just like it is. I'm just going to kind of layer that in there. Like that. And then I have these little berry sprays, little fall berry sprays. I think that would look good in there. We're just going to kind of lay these around and see how we like them. And then we can decide. Because our pumpkin is going to go in the center. I like this metal pumpkin. It comes 3 different styles, and I'll show you that. And I believe if you could get your hand in there, you could put a little tea light in there. But we'll secure this when we get closer finished too. So we've got sprays on each end and some berries, and I think this is kind of a leather look poinsettia. It's brown. It's got some rusty jingle bells. I think these would look good kind of in the center. Put one on the front, one on the back, so your centerpiece will be the same any way that you look at it. Okay, and I really think that might be enough. We don't want to make it too full. Continue that cotton boll theme. Might add in, this is just a little cotton boll spray. It's just got some little twiggy things. It's really pretty plain. We might put one of those kind of coming off the back and maybe one coming off the front. Just to pull it all together. And then I have 2 bows that I made out of just some fall ribbons. These bows are just loop bows. Maybe we should put our bow in before we do the berry spray, but put that in above this raz spray that's sticking out on the ends. I'm going to have to bring that bow in closer. Let's see. Something like that. You just have to put your sprays in there and kind of play with it till you get the number that you like, and then you can start wiring it in. Okay, I think we'll go with something like that. Now I'm just going to take the sprays, I'll take this back apart to wire my spray exactly to the rail, and I'll do that with some zip ties. And that way you'll be able to pick up, you know, the whole centerpiece and move it, uh, you know, so you can, you know, get it to your table and take it off. But each one of those we'll just wire in with some zip ties. And on the pumpkin, I think we can probably just take some chenille stems and wire into that center post of the rail, and that'll keep it from rolling around. Well, there's our centerpiece after we wired everything in. And like I say, we zip ties and attached, put the sprays in and just secured them to the ruin rail. It measures, and it would be a lot prettier on a table instead of this craft table, but it measures about 47 inches, so it's pretty large, but it's not that wide. So you should have room on your dining table for, you know, dinner plates on either side. It's about, at the very widest part, it's 24 inches, and that's with these little burlap and leather poinsettias. You could always scrunch them in a little closer. And another cute touch that you could add are these cute little Raz Autumn Elves. These are new for this year, and they're flexible. You can bend them and twist them, and you could, you know, you could sit them down, you know, in front, or you could, you know, have one standing up right in the middle or something, like holding onto the pumpkin.